Real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through consistency, through mentorship. I think I've grown as a business owner more in these last 2 years than I have in the last 12. And that is because I've had community, I've had mentorship, and I've had it consistently, not just in spurts.
All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business.
Hey, it's Rebecca, and you are listening to Resilient by Design. Can you believe that we are already nearing the end of another year? Whew, I don't know about you guys, but this is the time when I really start reflecting. I start getting actually quite excited about the year ahead, probably starting around October. But I love looking at what worked, what didn't work, and most importantly, what do I want next year to look like? So, if you guys have been around here for a while, you know that I love personal growth, professional development, and I love a good book when it comes to that. So, I'm going to share with you one that's had a massive impact on both my life personally and professionally, and it is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Go grab it. I wish I had it here to show you. It is the tiniest, skinniest little book with the greatest impact. All right, so if you haven't read this book yet, the premise is simple but so powerful. Extraordinary results come from focusing on what matters most. And in fact, I have the quote from that book saved as my screensaver on this desktop at the office. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today, is how this idea of doing less actually is better and how it's actually shaped my year this year. So I'm going to share a little behind the scenes of my business. And I'm hoping that maybe this will be the key for you to help you unlock your next level in the year ahead. So I want to look back at my year of intentional pause. That was this year, 2025 for me. So I'm going to start with a little behind the scenes update. I haven't shared a lot. So I'm a little nervous to share this here today, but I know that when I am open and I share honestly and with integrity, I always get the best feedback. And I know that someone who's listening to this today needs to hear this. So I'm just going to do it. Here we go. Okay, so for over a decade now, you know that interior design has been my identity. It is what has built my brand, my business, and my reputation. But I realized something really last year. If I wanted to grow into this next chapter of my career and my own personal and professional development, I could not keep doing everything. And maybe, just maybe, when you're listening to this right now, you can relate. Maybe you've been juggling multiple service offerings. Maybe you're doing full service design, e-design, styling, renovations, consultation only, staging, right? You're trying to do it all for everyone. And on the outside, it looks like you're thriving, but on the inside, you're exhausted. You're spread thin. You are constantly context switching. Context switching, meaning switching between different types of tasks, between client calls to marketing, to installs, to team management. And then somewhere in there, you're supposed to create, right? And be magically creative and amazing. Yeah. So I get that. And so for me, I've already been there with the design projects. I really honed it in. I decided years ago, and this is no secret, if you've taken Power of Process and you know my framework, you know it's focused on full service interior design. And I have one 7-step process that's used for every project. But for me last year, I realized it wasn't the design business that was pulling me in multiple directions. It was having two businesses. Like legitimately coaching, podcasting that was kind of this hobby I did on the side very quickly became my number one passion. And it quickly became a business. And so I found myself in 2024 really sort of straddling these two businesses and feeling as though I just had one foot in one and one foot in the other, and neither one was going to get my full attention if I had both. And so for me, I made the decision at the end of last year to step back from design projects, meaning that I decided in 2025 I wasn't going to take a single design project. Now, this was not easy. In January, end of January, beginning of February, I had the biggest lead ever in my life come to me for a new build. And I really struggled with that. I remember being on the ski hill actually and talking to some other ski moms. Our kids were in lessons. And I'd said to her, oh, well, I'm not taking on design projects this year. And this was like January, right? So this is like the beginning of the ski season, beginning of the year. I mean, I'm feeling strong. I wrapped 2024 with an epic design project, feeling pretty good about myself. I was going into some course launches and feeling good. But this project came my way. And I remember saying to this ski mom, oh my God, it's so funny that you just asked me about design projects. And I just told you yesterday that I'm not taking any on. And this was like Saturday to a Sunday. I'm like, I literally just got the most incredible lead on a project. They found me through ChatGPT. They're comparing me to one other top designer in Toronto, who in my mind is a way bigger deal and more known. And I thought, and she was like, oh my God, what are you going to do? You're going to take it, right? And I remember thinking, I don't actually know. I didn't know. And this is where all the work I've done to listen to my intuition really became helpful, because I remember going back to the chalet that day and saying to my husband, I don't know what to do. And through that week, I ended up having a couple of discovery calls with this potential client. And I said I was going to consider it to the client, but I immediately knew I didn't want to do it. I knew that that was going to be a distraction from my one thing. If you are going to 10x your business results next year, first of all, you need to read the book 10x is Easier Than 2x by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, one of my all-time faves. I've listened to it like 3 times on Audible. Then you need to release the 80% that is only 2xing your results. And for me, that 80% was the design work. Even though this was a project where I could have charged hundreds of thousands in design fees, I knew that it was just going to delay me being able to show up, coach designers, develop new programs, podcasts, do outreach, go to High Point, like do all the things that I love to do. And so that next weekend at the ski hill, when that mom came up to me and she's like, oh my God, so what happened? Did you do the design project? And I said, I turned it down and I referred them to other designers. And of course, this ski mom probably thought I was crazy, but I felt lighter. So for me, stepping back from design projects wasn't about giving up. It was about giving myself space and time to think and to invest my energies in one thing. And I wanted to figure out where I could have the biggest impact without burning out. And I knew that was going all in on my coaching business, because even as I shifted my focus to coaching and education this year, 2025, fast forward to halfway through the year, I realized something surprising. I was still doing too much. Wow, this year was a whirlwind. Different programs, multiple launches, different audiences, serving newbies, serving established designers, different types of support, different ways to sell my courses. I did a boot camp, I did a challenge. Like everything I was doing was really good, and it was helping people, and it was helping generate revenue for me so I could keep, living my life. But it wasn't focused, and I felt pulled in so many directions. And sometimes we think that we're simplifying things, but really we're just rearranging the chaos. Can you relate to that? So I'm going to share with you how I found my one thing. And I'm going to give you a glimpse into what this is going to look like, because things are going to look different next year. And I'm hoping this episode sparks something in you to make you think about your business differently too. So I went back to the book, two books actually. The One Thing and 10X is easier than 2X. But in The One Thing, there's a quote that really stuck with me. The author, Gary Keller, says, also, if you do listen to it on Audible, it's lovely because I just like love, this is so weird to say, but I love like an older, like a grandfather, the way they talk and the way their language is. And I'm pretty sure, and now I'm second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure that's how this book is. Just reminds me of my grandpa. I don't know. That was a weird sidebar. Um, but this is his quote. Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. I'm going to repeat that. Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. And that quote hit me like a ton of bricks. Because that's exactly what I'd been doing. I had been doing everything right, trying to do everything right, but it was a lot of freaking moving pieces. And every launch, every course, every offer, every client, every podcast recording, trying to please everyone, trying to show up and do everything the way it's supposed to be done, and trying to be everywhere. But doing everything right isn't the goal. Doing the right one thing is. And it's funny, I look back at January and I like to pick a word of the year. And 2025, my word of the year was simplify. And in October, I was at the Millie Club Mastermind and I was in Nashville with Amy Porterfield and in that mastermind container. And it hit me really hard. I said to Amy, I said, my word for 2025 was simplify. And I haven't freaking simplified a thing. And I said, all I want is to focus on one thing. All I want is to simplify my business so that I can have more time in my personal life, so that mentally I can still get excited and throw all my passions and power and energy into the thing, but I'm not constantly thinking about, oh, I got to do that too. And then what about that? And then, da, 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 da. So I asked myself at this mastermind in October, if I could do one thing, what would it be? And I think it's so interesting because Amy kicked off that mastermind with a teaching on how do you 10x your business? And we spent that 2 to 3 days focused on our business, our strengths, where do we want to take it in 2026, and what are the distractions, and what are the areas that are really going to 10x our business. And the truth was, if I stripped away all the noise, all the busy work, all the things that I could do, because let me tell you, when you're in a mastermind like that, you get a lot of ideas from people who are really killing it. But what's the one thing that really lights me up? And what makes the biggest difference for my community? And the answer for me became super duper clear. You want to know the answer? Ah! I realized that I want to serve designers more deeply, not just for 6 or 8 weeks at a time, the way I've been doing in Power of Process with the boot camp, right? But over the long haul. I want designers to work with me forever. Well, okay, at some point you're gonna grow up and graduate and move on, but I don't want you. I want you to be in my circle. I want you to be in my inner circle. Because I've also realized something. Yes, we see incredible transformations inside our course because the framework, the Power of Process framework is so freaking good. And I am not biased. I mean, I might be a little biased, but I have seen hundreds. We're approaching 1,000 students having gone through this course. And there is success to be had, but sometimes people are busy. Life is busy. And so the real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through consistency, through mentorship. I think I've grown as a business owner more in these last 2 years than I have in the last 12. And that is because I've had community, I've had mentorship, and I've had it consistently, not just in spurts. And when you want to quit, you don't quit. And you've got people there to celebrate your wins. And that's what I want to create more of. I want to be there celebrating your wins, sharing the tactics that I have used, that I see work for others, and the things that I'm learning inside all these incredible coaching programs. I want to share it with you. And that's what I want to do next year. So, what does this mean for my business? And what does this mean for yours? This is episode, I don't want it to be just about me. This is for you. And so I wasn't actually going to share this yet. Uh, but you know what? I have realized that part of being resilient by design is being open about the process. And sometimes when we put it out there out loud, we got to hold ourselves accountable to that, right? So here it is. In 2026, I'm making some big changes in my business. I am doubling down on my one thing. As I talk about this, I hope your brain is thinking, shoot, what could I double down on? What's my one thing? For me, I am creating a space where I can support designers on a deeper level, beyond just a single program or a launch. It is going to be more immersive. And I truly believe it's going to be that much more transformational and more connected. Because what I've seen over the years, in the last 5 years since I've been doing this, is that designers who experience the biggest growth, the biggest mindset shifts, the biggest leaps, they're the ones who stick with it, who just keep going, who fall and pick themselves back up. They stay in the room. You need to stay in the game. You need to stay in the room. They are the designers. And even in my own circle of designers here in Toronto, my colleagues, they're the ones who stay connected to the work, to the community, and the coaching over time. And they're constantly receiving coaching. You know, inside the mastermind that I'm a part of, actually, I'm in 2 masterminds. What I see is the women that have the most success are the ones that stay in the mastermind. They're not the ones that are just there for a cohort or just stay for 3 months or just there for 6 months. Like they re-up, they renew, they join again. And their business, yes, it's an investment, but their business is the one that really starts to soar. They are the women who are franchising their companies. They're the women who are surpassing $1 million. They are the women who work 3 days a week because they've dialed it in and they can make enough money so that the other 2 days they're golfing or they're volunteering on all the kids' field trips, whatever success looks like to you. But those are the women that see the success. So I just put some lip balm out and I got really excited and heated. I was squeezing, if you're on YouTube, I was like squeezing the lip gloss case and it just went everywhere. That's how excited I am about this. And also nervous that I'm saying this out loud. Okay, so if you've been in my world through Power of Process or one of my boot camps, like the Standout Designer, the Confident Designer, or you've been inside Designer's Room, or you've taken Pricing with Confidence, or all the things. I mean, I even had a course called Momentum Marketing back in the day. For all of you that have taken my programs, I first just want to say thank you because you have helped me see what's possible when we all go in on one thing. You are my inspiration. You are the ones who are taking what I teach and having incredible success. Heck, some of you are taking what I teach and doing better than I ever did in certain areas. Like I will sometimes go home to my husband and say, there's this designer who took Pricing with Confidence. She has quadrupled her prices in only 2 months since taking the course. And she's only been in business for like 12 months. Like, you know how long it took me to get there, guys? It's insane. So this next chapter for me is going to be all about that. I want to 10x your freaking success. And for all the new people who are coming into my world, you are about to see an incredible transformation if you stick with me. But without sharing any more details as we still finalize and fine-tune them behind the scenes, I want to turn this to you. I know as designers, we wear a lot of hats. As a design firm owner, you are everything. You are the creative, you are the manager, you are the boss, you are the HR person, you are the bookkeeper, you are the admin, you are fill in the blank, right? And so we feel like at the beginning we have to say yes to everything because we want to bring in the money. And also we're pretty smart cookies. We can pretty much do anything. The question that I want you to sit with as we wrap up this year. What's your one thing? What's your one thing? What is your one thing? If you could only offer one service or have one process, what type of project, what would it be? What is the work that truly lights you up? The kind of project where you lose track of time, where you just want to keep working and not bill, but you're going to bill, right? Where creativity flows easily and where you work with clients who literally just get you and value you and say, wow, this is so good. Wow, you're amazing. What if you doubled down on that and let go of the rest? No more charcuterie board of services. You know what I mean. That charcuterie that's basically an entire complete meal with various prosciuttos and salamis and cheeses and olives and grapes and jams and you are not our charcuterie board. No more saying yes to every inquiry just because it pays. Here's the truth. You cannot be known for everything, right? It's like going to your GP for eye surgery. You're not going to do that. You're going to go to the eye surgeon, doctor, ophthalmologist, whatever they're called, right? It's no different. I mean, okay, it's different. I mean, this isn't life or death, though some clients do feel that way sometimes. We have to sometimes walk them off the ledge. But could it be for you that you're known for something? Doesn't mean you only do kitchens. You might want to do kitchens and bathrooms and maybe renovations, but maybe you don't also do color consults and staging. What could you, if you could pick, what would you be known for? What is the one area you want to be known for? And then when you get known for that one thing, that signature style, maybe that clear process, that defined experience, your business gets simpler. And guys, this is what it's about. Your marketing's going to get easier. Your clients are going to get way better and more in alignment. And honestly, your life is going to feel lighter. And that is what I want for you. All right. So as we close out this year, my hope for you is that you take a little time to slow down, to reflect and reconnect with what matters the most. You do not have to do it all. You don't. You absolutely don't. You do not need to be everything to everyone. Sometimes the best thing that you can do for your business is actually to focus on doing less and to start saying no. Because when you do less, you can actually do the one thing, so much better. You're not getting pulled in multiple directions. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to just please take a quick moment and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We're trying to hit a goal of 100 reviews before the end of the year. I think at the time of recording, we're at like 80, so it means so much to me. And I encourage you to share this episode with someone, with a friend, with a design colleague, someone who you know needs this message, someone who wants to feel empowered, excited about the year ahead, someone who is ready to 10x their business and focus on the one thing. And before you go, if you want to start streamlining your own process heading into the new year, you could always download my free discovery call script. It's the beginning of every design process. Just go to RebeccaHay.com/discovery. It is a simple but extremely powerful tool that will help you lead confident client conversations for new inquiries, potential clients who call you right from the very first call. That is the very first step in my process, and it's yours for free. Just go to RebeccaHay.com/discovery. And that's it, my friends, my designers. Here's to clarity, focus, and building a business that feels as good as it freaking looks next year. I will see you soon.